Heyo! Welcome to the Toyland section of the tutorial. This one has a lot to cover, although the last 2 minutes are just a couple example boss fights. As always, join the Chameleon Discord and ask any questions there. Hold left in the spring and then carry your momentum left after you bounce. Run and tongue to the block, retract, then release and transition into a vault up, then tongue jump. Tongue and jump to the left block. From here, slingshot up left to get to the next section. For this slingshot, once you get close enough, you want to tongue and then release the parasol to connect to the floor. If you launch too far to the left, you can use this wall to correct upwards. From this block, jump, parasol, and tongue forwards. Alternatively, you can collect this power up. Jump and tongue to the slope, retract and release close to the end to keep your momentum, then jump up the slope and slingshot upright. If this slingshot is tough, you can just jump and tongue. From here, jump, parasol, and tongue to the side of the green block, retract almost all the way and release, holding right and slightly down. Jump, parasol, and tongue to the right along the wall. Continue doing so until you get to the end of this section. Wait for the crocodile and then run right. Before landing on the third spring, extend your tongue to the right. Then hold B again as you're landing and keep jumping with the tongue out to conserve your momentum to the right. The way this works is that the spring gives you a large amount of speed upon jumping on it. Normally this speed would go away soon after you land, but if you extend the tongue just before hitting the spring and then continue extending it while jumping as you land, you maintain that speed forwards. Jump to the next conveyor and then jump up and tongue to the block. Stand at the middle on the right side of the block. As it rises, run to the right onto the spring and then tongue straight up to land in the box. Alternatively, just use your parasol and tongue to get into the box. Run to the left, optionally grabbing the power up. Once you get far enough left, jump, parasol, and tongue to the wall to slingshot up. Conserve your momentum until you get about here, then drop. Once you get past where the wall ends, you can drop and you'll get the warp. Slingshot up left, full extend, half extend, and then extend to the wall, retract and release to death warp up. You need to be above this line to death warp. If you're above it, you can just release, but if you've dropped some, you'll need to retract and then jump. A slightly difficult but fast strat here is to jump off the cards and then slingshot up and slightly left off the block. After around 5 full tongue extensions, you'll get the death warp. Run left to the cards, go on the top card, then bottom, then top again. The last card will give you a boost like the spring that you can extend your tongue upwards and then jump to preserve the momentum into a death warp. Alternatively, just jump off at the top of the section to death warp. Once you reach this block, vault forwards at the edge to death warp. Run upright after spawning in the room and avoid the blocks, then jump onto the spring. You get forced to collect a power-up on spawn here. While you run upright, start a jump just before the power-up gets determined. This will make it so that even if you get a speed down, you'll get past the blocks. Continue jumping and death warp at the spring. This works because the speed up and down only affect your ground speed, So if you have a speed down, you want to keep jumping, and that will make it faster than if you kept running on the ground. There's a harder strat here that saves a bit of time. From that same block, vault a bit farther back, then tongue along the wall, trying to end up attached to the very edge, then you can jump up and parasol to warp. If you aren't quite far enough along the wall, after drifting forwards a bit, you can tongue jump off the wall again to try to get up. You are losing height in the process, but you can use this as a last ditch effort if you weren't quite far enough initially. Tongue right and jump to attach to the pole and then rotate up, then tongue along the wall to the right to get to the next platform. Wait for the clock to get around 10 o'clock, then jump and parasol. When the spring drops, it'll go through you so you can bounce on it instantly. For the faster strat, also extend your tongue as you jump and parasol. If you're able to extend your tongue enough, you'll get a big momentum boost that you can then conserve by tonguing and jumping as you land. If you try this and get stuck under the spring, you can vault up to save yourself. Robot has 3 attacks: spinning, shooting cannonballs, and spawning little guys. He'll randomly choose between them at the start. If he spins, try to do neutral vaults over his arms and be close to the front when he stops. The spin length is random, so it can be difficult to be in the right position when the spin ends. After the spin, he'll always spawn the little guys. When he has full health, they spawn and move very slowly, so you should be able to hit him with all of them. Pick them up a few at a time and shoot them at the robot. After spawning the guys, he'll follow up with cannonballs, tongue them and shoot him back. If you did enough damage fast enough, he may shoot too. After the cannonballs, he'll spin. As he loses health, the spin becomes faster, so it's a bit harder to dodge. When he's low health, spawning the guys, make sure to stand at the top edge so they don't hit you as they pass by. Since the guys spawn really fast at low health, you can often tongue a whole lot at once. Around the end of the attack, some of the ones that you'll have missed will have made it all the way around the arena, so it's often a good idea to tongue in the direction that they're coming from. Then use the cannonballs to finish him off. On the low health spawns, it's often a good idea to wait slightly in between shooting and grabbing again, since he won't spawn while taking damage. One sometimes useful technique for after the cannonballs is to grab some of the robots you missed and hold them, then shoot them at the end of the spin to give yourself more time to get to the front. That should cover the basics of the robot fight. I'll end the video with a couple full example fights, one extremely good and lucky fight, then one where luck wasn't as kind but the fight was still decent.